Hi guys, and welcome to the Luton vs Sunderland match preview. So Sunderland do go down to Luton this weekend. It is always a really difficult place to go away from home against Luton. They've made that place an absolute fortress in recent years. But we will get into the preview in just a moment. But firstly, I do just want to say that on Saturday, on match day, it is actually my birthday. It is my 30th birthday, so there won't be a match review for that game. I'm not even too sure whether I'm going to be able to watch it, but we shall see. So maybe for my birthday, can we all hit the like button for me? It's terrifying I'm hitting the age of 30, because if you think, I've been doing this now for, I think, over 5 years now. I think I was 25 when I first started YouTube, and I only just noticed yesterday, I did a video yesterday looking over my my kit collection, and one of the shirts, it had the number 25 and jamsarny on the back, and that was for a birthday, do you know what I mean? Or 26, I'm not too sure. It just shows how long I've been doing this for. So yeah, if you hit the like button, it'd be massively appreciated. It'd be a great little birthday present for me. But anyway, getting into this match preview. So Luton, they've just come off the back of a terrible defeat against their arch rivals. Watford, of course, they picked up a red card. They lost 4-0. It was an absolute battering. It was a horror show for them, which was strange because they were going into that game with a really decent run of form. But their manager after the game, he did say, and he didn't really have any reason to to lie. He's not their manager, isn't that kind of person, do you know what I mean? To sort of just lie and stuff like that. But apparently there had been a streak of illness that had ran through the side in the week leading up to that game. But you can't blame it all on illness, but even so, I don't think he's the kind of man to lie. So maybe that did have an effect. But even so, does that mean that this is a good time to play them? They could be a little bit down on themselves, for losing to the rivals by 4 goals to 0 as well, and in that kind of manner. Or maybe the illness is still running through the team. You never know. It could be a good time to play them. But as I mentioned earlier, Luton generally, they've made themselves an absolute fortress at their place over the years, and they've solidified their place in the Championship as well over the last couple of years. Of course, they did come up a couple of times. They were excellent when we played them in League One, and they were a nightmare to play against. Away from home, they make that ground, and like I say, a fortress, but it's so close, and the atmosphere they can create, and the ground just feels like the crowd are just right on top of you, and it seems very close and tight and compact. And it can make it a nightmare for players to play there, particularly coming being the away side. Pritchard mentioned it in a recent podcast, that it's a very difficult place to go because, like I say, the crowd are on top of you, and they're not a bad side either. They're not a bad side whatsoever. I remember when we first played them, when we went down to League One, and it was horrible. They were just a big bunch of bullies, and we got absolutely walked all over the place. It was horrible playing there. It was a nightmare. But they're a good side, and now they've got a good brand of football going as well. Granted, usually their home form is what they pride themselves on, but they've actually been better away from home this season. But that's not to say they've been bad, really, at home. It's not a bad run of form. I think their last defeat was on the 3rd of September, so it's been quite some time before they have lost at home. They're currently 9th in the league. They're a difficult team to play. Always a difficult team. Generally away from home, you see them with the high press, and they push on in that way. At home, they do have their style ever so slightly different, so we'll have to see how they do come out this Saturday. But for us, Mowbray's come out. Bit of injury news. Sims has been running on the grass. He is maybe not ready as such, and he has been picking up has sort of little niggles here and there. He's still feeling the pain every now and then, but he is expected to at least go with the side to Luton, so we might see him on the bench. Patrick Roberts has been training as well, so he may feature. LSE is apparently quite some time away, as is Lyndon Gooch. Of course, the likes of Ross Stewart. They're going to be probably towards after the World Cup or the winter break, as you might want to call it. So we still have a lot of players out that we cannot count on. So it's going to be a difficult game, a really difficult game. But for me, for this one, it is absolutely a must not lose. It's a must not lose because you don't want to start getting into the habit of losing game after game after game. We still haven't won back-to-back games, I don't think, so far this season. So we've lost a couple back-to-back, which isn't great. It's not ideal. 2 really difficult games gone against, with Blackburn and Burnley, respectively. Really difficult games. I hope the lads don't 2 down, after being 2 goals up against Burnley, who are arguably one of the best sides in the league, and then to throw it away in the manner we did, which I mentioned in the review to that game. I just hope the lads don't 2 down. They should be very proud of that first half performance, which I know you can't base the whole game of football on one half performance or the second half, do you know what I mean? So hopefully they're not 2 down on themselves, and they do pick up the positives, and we go to Luton and at least get a point on the board. That is what I'd be happy with. A good performance and a point on the board at a place like Luton. It's a very difficult place to go. As I keep on saying, it is a fortress, very difficult. Get a point, get the belief back in the lads and back in the legs of the lads, and then push on from there. That's what I would be very much happy with. Not necessarily sit back and just try and play for the draw, not at all. But try to get away from a difficult place like that with a point. I wouldn't be bothered. I wouldn't be angry. I wouldn't be upset with that at all. It'd be an incredibly good point for us. But now getting into my predicted, not predicted, my preferred starting 11. I've got a couple here, and I'll give you my reasons for these sort of starting 11s. So firstly, there's this one. It's a little bit of a mess, you might say, but this is me predicting that Sims isn't going to be there, Roberts isn't there, of course Alessi and Gooch isn't going to be there. But what I've done, I brought Bailey Wright into the side, because what become a huge thing in that second half against Burnley, they pretty much just noticed after 45 minutes, they thought, actually, they have zero height or very little height at the back. Let's exploit it. So for me, it's a decent time to bring in Bailey Wright. He hasn't played proper football in quite some time, which would worry me. But to have the experience of Bailey Wright and Bart in the middle to maybe just try and control that defence. Cirkin on the left, 09 pushing over to the right. I wouldn't even mind Trey Hume in this system on the right-hand side. First half, he was excellent against Burnley. Second half, not so much. But I wouldn't even mind putting him there. But 09, I just don't think he deserves to be dropped, because generally he has been excellent so far this season. Now, I'm going to love going with Evans and Dhannoo, with Embleton just in front. You've got Bennett on the left-hand side, Diallo and Clark. Those could all interchange. It's very difficult, and it always looks a mess because we don't have a striker on the pitch. But that is probably, or maybe, a team that I wouldn't be too bothered about trying. I wouldn't be too upset with that. But there is another side here. So here's the other 11, if we are to go with 3 at the back like we have done. 09, Bart and Bailey Wright. Cirkin as the wing-back. Hume on the other side. Evans and Neil in the middle again. Then Embleton, Burnett and Clark as well. I just really want to see Burnett in there. You could put Diallo alongside Clark. I think I might have made a mistake there. Maybe to put Diallo instead of Embleton. But that is the kind of, out of those two lineups, that is pretty much what I would go with. Some people might call for Mishu to start or for Bar to start. But these are probably the kind of lineups I would be leaning towards. But of course, let me know in the comments down below what you guys will go with and what you think of these lineups. But now for my score predictions. It all depends for me how Luton do approach this game. As I say, away from home, they're much more of a high pressing side. They're a little bit different when they are at home, and that might reflect in the results at home. And again, it hasn't been bad. It's just they've generally prided themselves on their home results, and they look a lot better away from home this year, which is quite a strange one, a quite strange dynamic flip in that sense. But for me, this is a really difficult one. Of course, it is my birthday, so I'd love to just predict a win. But I'm going to go more so with my heart. I'm a little bit in my head as well. I think it will be a really difficult one, and we'll grind out a 1-1 draw. And I do think Diallo is going to get on the score sheet, and I think that they will get an equaliser. And whether Diallo's going to come off the bench, I'm not too sure, but that remains to be seen. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw, and I probably wouldn't complain about that either. Again, I keep on saying it's a difficult place to go. And it is. I'm trying to remain somewhat positive after the back-to-back defeats. But yeah, so I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I'll be happy with that. What do you guys think the score is going to be? And how do you think we'll fare this weekend against Luton? What is your predicted scoreline, as I say? And your lineups, let me know in the comments down below. But if you've enjoyed, please hit the like button for me. Again, it is my birthday this weekend, so there might not be any videos over the next 2 or 3 days. And I'll sort of content on the channel. It's been very hit and miss recently because, of course, I've recently moved into a flat, so I couldn't upload for a while. And now it's my birthday, and I'm busy pretty much every single day this weekend and back at work the following week. So I'm finding it quite difficult to find times and slots to upload. But I am trying my best, guys. So please, if you are new to the channel, you're a regular viewer, please hit the subscribe button and like if you are enjoying. But for now, take care and stay jamming.